are you girls?
Hi, I'm doing really good.
Yeah, I had a great time watching Upside Down Magic. I loved your performances and especially the on-screen friendship you had. I thought was so beautiful. I heard that you guys had a chemistry read together before you were cast or right at the start of casting. Can you talk about that experience, your first impressions of each other?
Yes, of course. Well, I remember I think also Sienna, she went in a couple rounds for each of our roles, and finally we made it up to the chemistry. And I remember meeting Sienna for the first. No, actually, we met on a previous show one time, like for a quick little second, and then we met again. And I remember us just having a amazing connection off the get go, and I think we really brought that friendship that we had like naturally into the audition room, just like Nori and Reina had that friendship together. And we went in there a couple times together, I remember. And then finally, we went in there the last time, and our amazing and talented director, Joe, he was like, "Have you guys ever been to Vancouver?" And me and Sienna were like, "No." And then he was like, "Well, we're going." And it was just like, it was dreams come true. It was so amazing.
Did you have a horrible experience, Sienna, or was it pretty much the same?
I loved it. I mean, like it's so special to book something in the room, and let alone like with Izabela at the same time. We got to experience it together, and it's so bonding because it's such a beautiful moment that we all like, we're hoping for the duration of the audition period. So
Yeah.
I was very happy.
I'm glad. Now, Nori and Sienna is, of course, or sorry, Nori and Reina is the bond of the film, but you each have your own plots at Sage. Can you talk a little bit about Nori bonding with the UDMs and then Reina with the Flares?
Yes. You want to start, Sienna?
Yeah, I feel like both characters are trying to find their place, as like it's definitely different being separated from each other. Reina is placed in the honors flare class, and so it's very difficult for her because Professor Argon is very strict, and it's just not the best working environment. It's not like the happiest either, and so she doesn't have somebody there for her to support her, where she can lean on a shoulder. So she just feels very vulnerable there, and she feels very like constantly in a competition with the other students.
Yes, well, after facing rejection by Sage Academy, after Nori faces rejection by Sage Academy because her magic is different and it's wonky in Sage Academy's terms, that leads her into the UDMs, where kids with wonky or undeveloped magic go to, and that's where she can meet all the UDMs. And I think really Nori does pick up all the UDMs to say, magic is magic, no matter if it's different or it's magic is magic. And I think, the Nori and the UDMs are set out to prove to Sage Academy that even though their magic is different, doesn't mean it should make them outcasts. And I think, what I love about Nori and Reina's friendship, and I think a lot of people would love, is that they're so supportive when, Reina gets accepted into Sage Academy and Nori gets accepted into the UDMs, but they still make that time to kind of check up on each other and to be supportive friends.
I love that too. Is there obviously, everyone is unique in their own way, and that's good, is like the message of the film, which I love. But despite Sage probably not being the best learning environment when you ladies arrive, there is a lot of lessons to be learned in the film aside from that. Is there anything else that either of you learned from your characters or took away from your storyline?
Absolutely. I really love the friendship there, and just like showing that like the power of being there for each other, and the power of communication, and trust, really, and loyalty, like keeping up with one another, especially during these times. It kind of relates to quarantine as well. Is like you need to keep up with each other, and check in on how everybody is doing, because ultimately you don't know when you're separated, and talk to them genuinely. I think that's such an important thing.
I love that. Wow.
And I think, exactly how you said, I love the message with, like celebrating differences and accepting others, because I think that's definitely important in the world we are today. I think, we find a little bit more problems with that situation. And I feel like this movie, I hope it really does, people do maybe that are maybe experiencing the same thing take away this movie from, that your difference is what makes you special. And I have to agree with Sienna right there, is the true friendship. I mean, especially during the unfortunate times we are in right now, during quarantine, there's a lot of friendships that are apart during these times. And exactly how Reina and Nori were experiencing the movie, when Reina does get accepted and Nori doesn't, they, again, like I said, they do make that time to be supportive friends, and that's what I love, and I hope it does encourage other friendships that are maybe experiencing the same thing. And there's, of course, the magic in this movie. I mean, I hope this movie does open people's minds to endless possibilities.
Yeah. Speaking of endless possibilities, without spoiling anything, I think the ending of the film definitely leaves the door open for a sequel. So, is there anything that you ladies would like to see yourselves doing in a sequel? Any plots you'd like to give to the writers?
I'm in the same boat as everyone else is. I don't know. I have no idea, but I hope that people did love the first movie, will love the first movie, and hopefully there will be a sequel.
Well, thank you guys so much. It was wonderful to watch, and I also hope for a sequel. So
thank you so much for having us.